Hello, my name is April Thomas. I'm a self published author, and on the 15th of this month, we're in May, I will be publishing my ninth book. I often go to networking functions and different events, and I get approached a lot by people asking me, how do I do it? How do I write a book with a toddler? How do I write it? How do I find the time to sit down and write anything? So, what I want to do is share my strategies with you and hoping that maybe it will work for you if you're having the same problem that everybody has trying to write a book with a family and jobs and just life. So, here's a list you see of the different methods that I use, and I'm going to go over each one. Old school style. Old school style is basically pen and paper. It actually helps the mind create. I don't know if you've sat down when you're on the phone and you doodle. This is great for your mind and creating. So for me, when I'm struggling with a story because of writer's block due to stress from the environment, sometimes I find it helpful to just sit down with a pen and a paper and just let things flow. Just write whatever comes to mind, just let it flow. And a lot of times my first book was written this way. I started it out on a notepad and a pen because I had two kids who it was their weekend and they want to go out, they want to go to the theme parks, they want to have fun, and they don't have time for mommy to sit there and zone out on the laptop. So I actually took my notepad with me and I kept it in my purse and when they're on a ride or whatever they're doing and they're distracted for a second, I would write. And that's how I got my first story, Endurance, out. When I got onto the computer, I found that it was so much easier to write out what I needed to write out because it was done and said. I already knew where I was going with the story and I knew what I was doing. It was no confusion. So I had better focus. I had a clear understanding of my storyline and it was less stressful. So it really helps the creative mind to write. So it's not stepping backwards in time by pulling out a notepad and pen to write out your story. It's actually a good thing. Setting a writing schedule. Set a schedule daily or weekly or both. For me, it's both. Um, some people will be able to maybe have grandma and grandpa take the kids for the weekend, so they'll have more time to sit down and write their book, which is great if you can do that. If not, I find that writing right before bed, maybe an hour or two before bed, after the kids are off the bed, you have your you just got to have your hour or two me time. That's the best time for me to write. How many hours per week really depends on your schedule and your life, you know what you have to deal with, but just try to find a time, like pick reasonable hours, a reasonable amount of hours to work per week on your book. Don't stress it. Don't stress yourself out if you don't need it. It's not meant to be a stressful process. Stress kills. It kills the creativity in writing. So I will talk about that later, but you really need to manage your stress. Setting a reasonable word count. If you're not too familiar about word counts, you'll get familiar with word counts. Some people, if you are relaxed and you can write, you could probably write, I don't know, 1,000 words easy. For me, when I was writing Endurance, I was writing 10,000 words a day. Now, I was a stay-at-home mom, and at that time my kids were older, so they were all off to school. So I can literally, I literally is not a word. I can literally sit down and just write the whole day, and that's what I did, and that's how I was able to do 10,000 words a day. And the story was just coming to me. I was struggling to keep up with what I was getting. what I was feeling to write. So, not that's not an everyday situation. It's great. I wish I could write 10,000 words a day now, but it's hard. I have a toddler, so it's not that easy. But find something that's reasonable for you, whatever you're comfortable with. You want to do easy to meet goals to help build your confidence in writing. Your writing environment. Finding your creative zone. For if if you have your own office, God bless you. That's great. Write in it. If you just have maybe your living room is empty at night and you have a nice comfy chair, whatever you need to create in your world to make it a pleasant and writing experience, that's what you need to do. There's going to be distractions. You just have to learn how to deal with the distraction. With it, if you can ignore it, great, or deal with it and refocus. Let everybody in the home know that you're writing right now and you need to focus. You love them dearly, but you just need your focus time now, and they will respect that. Overcoming writer's block. The interesting thing that happens sometimes when you finally get into your environment, you're comfy, you're in your comfy clothes, you got your cup of coffee, you got your laptop, and you're like, okay, I'm ready to write, and nothing comes. Your mind is still stressed. You have to find a way to relax your mind. The worst thing you can do is actually turn on the TV. The TV is just an attention whore. You don't just, and it just sucks the creativity out of you. Turn off the TV. What's better is listening to music, even just doing a short little exercise, like a warm up exercise before you write. And then just don't focus on trying to control what you're trying to write. Just let the words flow. And even if you have to take your pen and paper and just scribble and doodle for a little bit, that's what you need to do to put your mind at ease so that the writer's block can go away and that you can write. Now, managing stress. I've been kind of touching on this all through the video. Stress is, I have a very stressful life, so I understand stress very well. Everybody's stressed out. We all need to learn how to manage stress, not just for writing, but for our overall health. The foods that we eat could be stressing our bodies as well. We're not getting enough exercise. These things will actually affect your writing. The healthier you are, the more you exercise, the better you know how to manage your stress, the easier it will be for you to write. Trust me. This is that's the best advice I can give you with writing. Don't don't allow stress to destroy your life. Don't let stress ruin your day. There's some things that you just can't control. That's just how they're going to be. Let it be. The world's not going to end. Nobody's going to die. You have to just learn to manage your stress, and eat healthy will help you with your stress. There's a lot of things in our foods that actually help our bodies balance and manage stress. So the point of this whole video right now is just relax. Relax and write. It's a beautiful thing and it's fun. It's so much fun to write and create these stories. Whether you're writing fiction or nonfiction, it's fun to just be relaxed and just let the words flow. I want to thank you for watching my video. I actually do a one-on-one class for publishing for anyone who wants to learn how to publish their book, how to get their book out there, the best ways, and all the ins and outs of the publishing world. I spent 5 years of learning and struggling and trying to understand the publishing world. And I am happy to say that I have defeated a lot from my experiences. So I would love to share that with you and teach you how to not make the mistakes that I made and succeed at publishing and, make some good sales for your books. So, once again, I want to thank you for listening to my video. I hope you have a beautiful day. May you have a beautiful, prosperous, and productive day. Talk to you later.